under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Andrews, absent. Cedric Detmar, absent. Brian Eckfeld. Here. Michael Carabin. Yes. Lisa Magnata.
Here.
Sandra Miller.
Here.
Mark Civic.
Here.
Dr. Shameen Paxad.
Present.
And Board President Susan Baxter.
Here.
2%.
May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We had an executive session tonight to discuss personnel, and that was prior to the meeting, 5:45. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from August 27th?
So moved. Second.
Question or discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Recognition.
Thank you, Ms. Baxter. Welcome, everyone. Excuse me. I'd like to invite Ms. Gary up to the podium as we have some very special and meritorious honors to recognize this evening, board members, and Ms. Gary, let you take it from here.
Thank you. Tonight, it's my honor to recognize our Advanced Placement Award winners from the 2018-2019 school year. These honors are awarded by the College Board for achievement in the number of exams taken and their scores received. There's 3 different levels, and I'm going to read the award winners. I'm going to ask them if they could come forward to be recognized. Not all of the people are here tonight, especially I would like to recognize the people that graduated and where they're attending school. So we're starting with, in 12th grade, Kyra Harrington, and also 12th grade, Anna Inglis, Kyle Kerr, Ryan Kerr, Maisie Leddick, Madeline Lohr, Sarah Mantoni, Gabriel McCabe, Zachary Makuta, Nicholas. Yes. Come on forward. So I read your name. Very shy. So we have Zachary Makuta, Nicholas Morawski, Emma Patterson, Monem Rizvi, Bailey Smith, and Cameron Zavacki. They're all 12th graders. They are all AP scholars who received a score of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. So give a round of applause. Not with us tonight, but also being AP scholars are our graduates. We had Ferris Abu-Ghosh, who's at Penn State University, Megan Freed, who's at the University of Georgia, Catherine French, who's at Colgate University, Mia Lloyd, who's at Waseda University of International Liberal Studies, Jared Resick, who's at University of Pittsburgh, and Brooke Riefenstahl, who's at Slippery Rock University as well. So thank you. Next, we're going to ask to come up our AP Scholars with Honor. These are students who received an average score of at least a 3.25 on all their AP exams and scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more exams. So tonight with us is Saren Gudzuzian. Hello. And she is a 12th grader. We also have on our list Kennedy Morgan and Hannah Pandy, who are also seniors who could not be with us tonight. And then we have our graduates, Allison Martins, who's at The Ohio State, Keegan Maycutt, who's also an AP Scholar with Honor, who's at Pace University, Maddie Schaefer, who's at Cedarville University, and Cecilia Zimmerly, who's at Moravian College. So congratulations to all of them. The next and last designation is the AP Scholar with Distinction. This award is granted to students who receive an average score of at least a 3.5 on all the exams they've taken and scores of 3 or higher on at least 5 exams. So these guys will be back, well, be in college, but next year they could rise to be receive distinction. A senior that we have is Laura Gayanova. She isn't able to be with us. And then our graduates, Sarah Duffy, who's at Muhlenberg College, Chase Fong, who's at the University of Pittsburgh, Megan Gatchell, who's at the University of Delaware, Evangelos Hahalis, who's at the University of Pittsburgh, Audrey Holland, who's at Indiana University, Serafina Johnstone, who's at the University of Washington, Sydney Oskin, who's at the University of Notre Dame, and Ayana Pandy, who's at Penn State University. So we'd like to congratulate all of our award winners. And of course, just the recognition of all their parents who came tonight, because they had a big part in these achievements as well.
Students, I'd just like to, from the seat of the superintendent, I'd like to congratulate all of you. We're so proud of your accomplishments, and we're even happier that you are in the Saucon Valley School District. I see you in your classrooms frequently. I know the effort you put forward, and probably the sacrifices you make, perhaps in your activities outside of school that allow you to reach this level of excellence. So congratulations. Keep up the great work, and we're proud to have you here in our school district. And parents, I reiterate Ms. Gary's sentiments to you. This is not done without tremendous support from the parents at home, and the expectations and the love and guidance you provide as parents. I can attest to that myself. So thank you, parents. We appreciate your support. Congratulations again, students.
We have a new high school student representative, Paige Penizzato. Welcome.
My name is Grace Albano. I am currently filling in for Paige Penizzato. I'm a junior in student government, and I'm excited to share some exciting news with you. The Panther Cafe is reopening for the 2019-2020 school year on Thursday, September 12th at 8 a.m. The cafe is run out of the high school every Thursday during periods 1 to period 2. We deliver anywhere on campus from 8 to 9 a.m. and welcome pickups at the high school store during that same time period. Cafe items include coffee, bottled water, bagels, breakfast sandwiches, muffins, oatmeal, and yogurt parfaits. Our students work on customer service skills, calculating totals, and preparation of food items. So our sports season is in full swing, and all of our teams are off to a great start. A reminder that this week is our Thursday night home football game. The game will be live streamed on d11sports.com and can be viewed anywhere around the world. Alumni who do not live in the area and may not have seen Saucon Valley football yet will have the opportunity to come watch this Thursday's game. The game will also feature Saucon Valley student journalists taking part in a new program through the athletic department, D11 Sports. I'm a reporter, as well as Megan Kane and Nick Bortz, and we'll be at the game as student reporters broadcasting the event in partnership with Matt Evancho and Al DiCarlo of D11 Sports. The marching band had a busy and excited weekend. On Saturday, they performed at the Penn State Blue Band Jam at State College at the Penn State versus Buffalo game. On Monday, the band traveled to Philadelphia to perform at the 5th annual Phillies Band Night at the Phillies versus Braves game. They even got spotted on the Jumbotron in Citizens Bank Park. The club fair during freshman orientation went very well. Over 20 clubs were represented, and freshman students were able to sign up for clubs. Minithon will be sponsoring the Blue Out game on Thursday, September 12th. All proceeds will go towards their goal of raising $35,000. Thank you.
Thank you.
Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Ms. Baxter. I would just like to mention this evening, directors, that last night we had back to school night at the middle school. This evening from 5 to 7, probably just concluding right now, we had back to school night at the elementary school, and next week will be the high school. I'd just like to offer my appreciation And congratulations to our staff on the 2 open houses that occurred the last 2 evenings. And it's great to have the community and parents come in. Just a nice opportunity for us to welcome parents and guardians into our school and show off some of the things we're doing and, show a little bit of our pride in terms of getting this school year off to a great start. So with that said, Mr. Pastor, that's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Well, there are a few people out there. So I will open the floor to the visitors if they have any items that they'd like to discuss. Okay, all right. May I have a motion to approve the presentation of bills?
So moved.
Sorry, second.
Okay, discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. May I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 The ayes have it. And we're going to move to education. Title 2A, approve the letter of agreement between Saucon Valley School District and Colonial IU 20 to provide, I don't know if you say 2A or is that how you say 2A services with non-public requirements. May I have a motion
So moved.
and a second? Is there anybody that wants to fill us in a little bit more on this, or does anybody have any questions? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. We're going to move on to personnel. Congratulate Tracy Mullen on receiving her tenure September 1st of this year. And let's see. May I have a motion to move items 1 to 4, homebound instructors, substitute support staff, additions to the substitute list, and the Saucon Valley Recreational Swim membership.
So moved.
Questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. May I have a motion to move the travel request?
So,
Just real quick,
Yes.
so we've made some changes, and based on those changes, they seem to be doing financially pretty well. Did we have anybody question about how we changed the passes, or everything went okay?
Nobody had said anything to me. Yes, it seemed to go well. I didn't hear
And they
any.
made quite a substantial difference in money, so that was, I meant to ask that last time. Thank you.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve the travel requests and conferences?
second.
Question or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Okay, we're going to move on to facilities. They did have a committee meeting on August 21st, and move the surplus obsolete items and approve the stadium lights.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments, discussion?
Just on the stadium lights, that, if you read the thing, those are just line items. It's going to be more than, we're going to be probably replacing all the lamps, I think is the plan. Haven't been looked at for how long? How many years?
Well, I'm here 15 years and we haven't replaced a bulb in 15 years I've been here. So there is a lighting fund account. We have about $4,900 in that account at this point in time.
So we're hoping that it will stay within that amount.
For the bulb replacements and stuff, but you have the lift for somebody to go up there. In the past, you had a nice gentleman that used to come and volunteer his time
Right.
to do a lot of that. And he has retired and stopped volunteering his time. So we have to find somebody else now to actually
Okay,
go up and do that work. So there's going to be a cost for the lift to go up there, and then 3-man hour time for 3 days
Right.
and stuff. So
okay.
My compliments to Dave for finding, it's been hard to find someone that would do this because most of the electrical contractors say, well, if we didn't do it, we're not going to go up there. So it's been a concern. So
So this should be extra bright pretty soon. down there when the lights get turned back on.
Yes, hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll go up, check everything out, everything will be good, and just hopefully replacing the bulbs and maybe some adjustments as to where they're, currently spotting and stuff like that, so.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We're moving on to finance. May I have a motion to approve the virtual high school contract with VHS for 10 students?
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
This is for specific classes or?
No, cyber is eBridge, additional classes that students take, AP classes or different stuff like that, so.
I
there's-
got you. That's what I
I see.
thought. I just wanted to be clear on what I'm approving.
We used to have many more than this, and we reduced it to 10. So
Any other questions or comments?
Do we have 10 students currently looking to do this, or we just have it open and?
No, currently, we do have 10 students in. We have 5 currently in. We actually switched a couple seats from next semester to this semester to cover the requests and stuff. So if we needed to add more seats, we would just have to pay per seat to add more seats. But currently, we have a block of 10.
I got you. Okay, thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
I just would like to make one comment. I've mentioned the cyber issue, but this hybrid model, many school districts are providing multiple opportunities for students to mix and match their day. And I brought up the option of just the cyber, but the idea that our district should seriously look at this as an option for individuals that are working, individuals that are at the career and technical school, because I guess we don't call it VOTech anymore, the children that are high achievers that want to be working part-time. For us to look at the cyber hybrid option is something we should be doing seriously. Outside of the fact that if we can draw students out of the cyber school into this full-time option, this is not it, but this program, virtual, can provide an advanced program for us that we would be able to meet more of our needs. But at the same time, we have a lot of high achieving students. We witnessed it today, and that would give them an opportunity to take some additional electives that we currently can't fit into our schedule. And it's something we could consider for a range of students, not just the at-home cyber students. And I know that it's, charter schools, and mentioning it in this meeting sometimes results in some issues. Yes, I purposely didn't get on there. But it would be something that would be fiscally responsible to look at the cyber option, but it also would be an academic choice that a high-quality school district provides to their students. And we need to start looking at it more seriously. Right now, it's a default. If they can't fit something in their schedule, they kind of gets offered to them, well, you can use this as your schedule to help you fill a class, or if they need to take Mandarin. But it's something that we could use as a strong recruiting effort to keep people in school, individuals that want to have a more variety of curriculum, as well as our high achieving students. And it's ideal for individuals that are even perhaps at the VOTech and want to do extra work and they have a hard time finishing their credits, they could use these programs. So I would like us to consider adding this as an initiative for us to consider.
So that would be promoted through the guidance.
Yes. As an option for, the students.
So that really wouldn't be, that would be administrative. I mean, we wouldn't.
No, it's an expense, obviously, because you have to pay the seats. You have to, there's administrative fees, and it would be offering, you'd have to have some funds in order to provide that. Something to consider. And it
Well, it's
would be an
something-
opportunity to bring back, we spent over $1 million on cyber school. And that doesn't count full charter, that's just, I'm not sure we could recapture our students, but we are finding through discussions across the area, that individuals that are choosing to leave a building often are at that step if we could offer them some alternatives to help them stay as Saucon students, use our curriculum, use our in-house programs. That would save us substantially finances. But it also enriches the whole curriculum, and it enriches the academic offerings of the district. And it really, it plays into what all of the top districts in the area are doing. The hybrid model and offering this is what people are doing these days. And it's not just to go against the cyber charter, even though the governor's big on that, and we're all going to be doing something with it this fall. It's still a proper step towards enhancing the academic offerings in the district, and we should be considering it.
Okay, well, board members, if they are interested, think about this, let Dr. Butler or myself know, and we'll see what kind of interest we have and how we move forward with this.
Well,
I mean, I haven't heard anything from the board saying if a student wants this program, we've been turning them down. So, I mean, I don't know, what direction we need to do unless it's, obviously if we have 100 students doing this, then the money's going to be an issue. But I guess that's what I'm trying to get a handle on is what do we need to do if we're interested in promoting this or not promoting. I mean, I don't know how we not promote it. I mean, it's like, it's available. We haven't, as far as I know, we haven't limited it. Have we? I don't know. I mean,
students. Right now it says.
Well, I don't think we've turned students away, have we, Dave? The 10 have been adequate up to this point. And we're saying if additional needed, we can always add spots on.
We've always we've had the 10 seats, that's what it was. I mean, this year we accommodated by shifting the seats from, and then talking to VHS again, if there was more of a need. We've only budgeted for the 10 at this point, but if there was more of a need, we would have to then just contract with them for additional seats. It doesn't make sense for the number of students going. They have blocks and you get a little bit discount, but for the number of students we have, it doesn't make sense buying another 10 or 20 blocks.
So can I ask a question?
Yes.
So we haven't, Mr. Bonamiger, we haven't turned anyone away, right? So this is all of the requests have been accommodated. I just want to make sure that we are not.
I can't speak to that.
Well, Mrs. Gary is here.
Yes.
Okay,
This
so
year.
do we have any outstanding requests that has been discouraged because of budget issues?
But I think the issue is how much we could afford to say this is an option. Right now it's there for students that are in kind of a bind where they need something.
Right.
But it's not something that's advertised as an option over.
What is the reason for that? This is, I mean, I'm assuming that that's something that you kind of like figure it out, with the counselors and, present the option, the way that you see fit, right? Is that? Yeah, come on.
It's used right now for options for students who's.
Yeah, you have to be on the minutes, son.
It's right now used for students who need it as an option because, as you said, they can't fit things into if they're taking college classes or they want, we have a student doing an AP economics course, a student doing an AP environmental, so that we don't offer them and they want to fit them in. The options we're talking about are not only for the advanced, because there's a cost behind it. So it's there for students who need it, that they'll offer as an option, but it's not advertised as, hey, this is something you could do because of the cost associated.
Yeah, but this is,
Right.
I mean, I guess I'm just, I mean, with regards to and encourage them to take the cyber options. In other words, sort of like just from the education perspective, I would assume that that's not what you want to do regardless of the cost, right?
We always try to make it work out for any of the students and their issues to see what best will fit with their schedules. So with more students trying to get different things, students who are traveling to take college classes who might not be able to fit something in, we always try to look for those options for it. But as right now, as you said, it's not something that we say, hey, this is something you can do. It's kind of look at how do we make it work and use the licenses that way.
Yeah, I guess my
Right,
question
'cause
is whether you would want to change this model. In other words, is that your recommendation that you would want to reduce the number of students who actually physically come to school and encourage them to take these classes? Because I assume that's not the case, but I may be wrong.
Well, I think we always have to keep all of our avenues open for all different situations for students, because there's students that partake in who have kind of and they only could come in for so many blocks. So having that option to offer students is what we are. So we have the 10 licenses, and in the fall when we started doing it, I think is when we hit the 10. So we're discussing that with adding more. So giving that as an option to students.
Yeah.
We believe,
Go ahead.
excuse me, Mr. Eichfeld, we believe that our curriculum and programming at the high school is of excellent quality. And we do everything we can to courses they need. And in rare occasions or exceptional situations where there's a conflict or special situation or barriers where it dictates that we kind of look at extenuating circumstances and be flexible with it, we do that. But otherwise, we expect our students to take our courses here, and our program reflects that.
Right. One of the things that Sandra was talking about was, people have a job in the afternoon. They want to take. I'm not sure we want to encourage. I mean, if it's a career type job, maybe, but I mean, just to go, work in a. Yeah.
A
lot of them are like
something that
intern.
might be good, but I don't
To
know.
explain what that option, what I had
Right.
heard someone explain is that the individual's offered an internship type of a situation, and they often have a choice whether to continue their degree. They already pretty much have a job lined up. It's been a mechanism for some of the CTEs to keep them individuals in school and graduating, and not just defaulting out of school or going for the GED. So it helps on the retention.
Right.
A lot of these are retention issues, having the individuals stay in the system in some manner. They still end up being Saucon students, but we offer them some options so we're not losing them out. These aren't what I'm, day in and day out people. These are unique individuals that have circumstances, and we want to encourage them to stay as students, and we want to encourage them to still have great opportunity. And that's why the range is from individuals that work all the way to the high achieving athlete to the student that wants to take 2 AP classes. My question is that if we used all 10 licenses now, individuals in the spring half will not have any available?
Well, I believe some of those that are the AP courses are actually using the 2 licenses, because you have a fall license and a spring license. It's a year-long course. So we're,
Let me ask you, in your anticipation, if we open this wide open, anybody, anytime can take it, do you think students would take advantage of taking something like this?
currently, the students cannot take classes that are offered in the high school. So any of the courses have to be things that we don't offer. So the students who are in those special circumstances for it, and there's all different circumstances from the advanced students to the students that you're trying to get to graduate and not drop out.
Right.
So it's all based on circumstances. I don't think you'll have
So there's
200
no-
kids standing in line, no, but they are there. So I believe it used to be you had a greater number of licenses and they weren't being used and it was down. And now we're starting to see, that going up again.
Right, okay, thanks.
Right, I guess the concern I had was the fact that it's something we don't teach here. Is that due to the teacher contract?
I
Well, it's the schedule
I
of
wasn't here
classes.
for that. I don't know the answer to it.
I thought that was part of the issue, that we couldn't teach
Oh,
something
actually,
in a.
I think Mark could probably answer to that. Mark.
Yes.
I thought that was the,
Because when
Great answer.
when you're dealing with a third party providing instruction, there are labor law implications as to what we can and can't do. And the history of utilization of technology, it dates back about, I think, 7 or 8 years. I know that we used we had a memorandum with SVEA specific to certain targeted students that we were looking to utilize third parties to provide such instruction for, just as was described. if you're going to go beyond that, which certainly districts now are entering into very sophisticated hybrid models of instruction where teachers in a classroom are also teaching to people that are in their home. So it's a very there are models out there. Especially for districts that have a lot higher charter school liability. So again, some of this stuff would have to be dealt with through the union. Right now, a lot of this is all cleared up through them, but yes, there would need to be additional discussions with them.
Right, because I guess a vo-tech student wouldn't necessarily be able to take history, whatever history course we offer to get their history done because that's offered here at the school. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know
Right,
that
that's correct.
we'd be able to fix all those problems with the limitations we have. I don't know if we can open those limitations, but that's I thought it was the contract that limited it.
The options, though, is that this would allow them for completion of electives. That's the biggest issue that often has been a concern. And we easily can come up with a variety of plans and actions, because it's not like we're doing this new. Many school districts, if not most, already provide quite a range of options. It was just, it is, if we're trying to be economic, we should look at it. And if we're trying to be an advanced academic setting, we should look at it.
No,
Perhaps at one of the next academic committee meetings, we can just have a report and also present it to the whole board. Just let's look at our retention rates, how they've been going, and if we can kind of find out the reasons behind those that have dropped out, it might be helpful.
thank you.
Okay. All right, community outreach. Bethlehem area VOTEC. Any reports?
Just, we walked through the house. Dr. Butler was with us. He got to see and we enjoyed the food truck also. But
That's a secret, Mr. Eichfeld. We're not going to tell anybody about the food truck. No.
yeah. They gave us a nice little meal before we toured the house. The house is amazing. When it's done, it's going to be a beautiful place. As we move forward, I think we'll be able to have more tours and stuff. And I think I'm getting pretty excited about this.
May I add, since I am the superintendent of record this year, it was a real pleasure to attend the board meeting, and I am very proud of our two directors, Cedric Detmar and Brian Eichfeld, for the presence that they bring to that board. It's the first time I've seen it firsthand. And Brian, since you're here tonight, the level of involvement, of course, Mr. Detmar's the presence, so to speak, but our two board members are very active there and very involved and engaged, and our leaders there. So I really appreciated seeing that. Thank you.
Okay, Colonial IU.
There are two flyers available for you, and the purchase of the land for the parking lot was finalized, so we are able to move ahead on the Colonial IU changes.
All right, and for PSBA, I guess we have a PSBA officers that we have board ballots turned in today. Anything else from PSBA or? Okay, Hellertown, Lower Saucon Chamber of Commerce. Tracy,
We
anything?
need to vote, don't we?
I thought it was a slate on the,
Give me a slate, and I based it on the slate.
So we don't, even though it's listed here as a recommendation. for
You
approval.
approved the slate, yeah.
I
so,
don't know. I'm just saying.
Dave, is that something you just want us to pass in?
You passed them in, yes.
Yeah, right.
So I will tally it then, and then we'll give
Okay,
it to them.
right, yeah. Okay. Tracy, has Lower Saucon Chamber of Commerce met or?
There hasn't been a meeting
Okay.
since the last one. The
Right.
only thing that they have, that they're, not the only thing, but the biggest thing that they have coming up is the light up night that they're planning for Hellertown. That's going to be November 29th. It's a big event.
All right. The Education Foundation,
We haven't had a meeting.
okay. Northampton Community College, we did have a meeting, but I don't have anything new to present. Is there any new business?
Just something I thought of when I was reading the paper this morning. They were talking about the lanternfly. Who would go around and look for the mental center that we got? We should probably have the Dave.
Whenever we
Yeah,
don't,
but no, I was thinking that it would, might be a good thing for our environmental science classes or something to take a look at scraping the
I'm sure they've
egg
already,
sacs or whatever. I don't know. It was,
I'm sure our science teachers have already addressed that.
oh, you
that would
think
be-
so?
that-
Okay, I don't know.
No, I
Just-
addressed talking about it. I'm certainly with the kids. I would be
I
shocked. to
just
think
figured
they
I'd
wouldn't.
bring it up because I thought
Right.
that'd be a
All right.
good thing to.
About lanternflies. Oh, okay.
No, lantern flies.
The partnership is not listed on your
I think it's because
agenda.
they didn't have a meeting and that was under community outreach and there was nothing put there. So I don't know.
It's on every meeting that I've ever been to here.
Did you just have a meeting?
No,
Well,
it's,
then
but
that's why
it's,
it's not on.
it's on every board meeting agenda.
Well, if we're not.
Because I've always announced
You
partnership
have something you would
meetings
like to
such a-
say.
Well, yeah, tomorrow,
Go.
it might be a very interesting meeting because they're talking to the state tomorrow. And they're going to hopefully give us the data that the school board was looking for. So if you're interested in attending and hearing, I'm sure they'll forward it to Dr. Butler, but just a heads up.
yes,
So it's the demographic data.
Right.
right.
The whole plan is under review and discussion, and the
But they're-
consultant will be on the phone giving the update on the plan.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
No
All
problem.
right.
May I also? I have
Yes.
a question, and so I have the question, and this is for, I think, maybe the principals, maybe Dr. Butler, I don't know who's, but I've been asked repeatedly about the PSSA results from last year and whether they're going to be available to the parents at some point. As you know, the tests are back in, I think, the May or I think April. And there are a lot of people who kind of want to see what happened, so.
We'll be presenting to the AMP committee at the next meeting, which I think is in flux at this point as to when.
But my point is to report card to the
Student-
parents. Yeah,
student
yeah,
results.
Yeah. Individual
Uh,
results.
Miss,
Yeah, your keystones. I'm talking about the PSSAs, so.
Ms. Motter, Mr. Zacharias, do we have individual student results?
Oh, so the state hasn't released,
Okay.
okay. And do we know when they're going to be released? Do we have an expectation about this? When do they normally get released? This is, I mean, when I get asked, I haven't been able to sort of answer that. Okay.
Yeah, and we released them in October. That's-
Dr. Paxton, I'll look into this immediately tomorrow and let the board know what the
Okay.
expected release date is.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I was just, I wanted to bring up an issue that we've all seen in the news, and it kind of has been hitting us pretty hard recently, and that's about vaping. And I just did a quick Google search today, vaping deaths, and there are a number of usually kids, teenagers who have died as a result of this, hundreds with lung illness problems, and there is the kind of like scientific part of us that says you don't want to make judgments based on some anecdotes, but on the other hand, the cost is really the health and wellness of the kids. So I don't think we want to take any risks. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up here is to ask if you have any plans to do some public outreach or something in particular. This sort of like sounds to me like something that we don't want to wait to see the next sort of like news story being about one of our kids or someone from the community. This seems like it doesn't take you a long time or lifelong of, smoking for it to cause some illnesses and consequences. So these kids, have been doing it for a year or two, something like that, and not really heavy smokers, and a lot of reports, and it's hard to ignore it. So I just wanted to bring it up to your attention and to high school and middle school, I guess, mostly involved, and plea for you to also sort of like do as much as you can to raise the awareness amongst the kids and the parents.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was approached by a parent today in the parking lot asking me if there was going to be any further efforts by the school assemblies or something to educate these kids, because they still don't understand the negative effects of it. And with everything that's been going on in the news lately and all of these acute lung injuries that are occurring, they had asked me if I knew of any outreach efforts that were going to be taking place. So that's something, just so you know, parents are concerned. It's a big news topic. I spoke to a physician friend of mine today who told me that if you walk into any given ICU, there are undoubtedly vaping-induced lung-injured people in any ICU in this country on this day. He said these numbers are vastly underreported, that they're seeing it left and right. These young people with these acute injuries, severe lung injuries coming in, and it's the common element is vaping. So.
We have the Weller Center, Kristen Holden, so that there was funding available for that. So everyone started everything last year, and then outreach things. So this year we're working with Marion Prager, our nurse in the Weller Center, so we'll be setting those up. It's huge.
I thought I heard somewhere, and I don't know where, that there's detectors that can detect vaping in a restroom or something. Is that something that anybody's heard?
We investigated and looked at it, and the districts that do have them said they're not worth the money we put in, because the vapor is only within a certain area. So I searched that last year for school districts within the area that have them, and the word was they're not worth it.
They don't work.
And directors, we can certainly look at including, I'm looking for pertinent topics, thank you, Ms. Magnotta and Dr. Paxhot, for our community outreach meetings. So perhaps we could combine something with the middle and high school. We had a good response to our combined meeting early last fall with regard to safety, and this, I think, would draw definite interest from the parents too. So we'll be working on that. Thank you.
Yeah, just a note. I mean, I've been to those community outreaches, as you know, and the attendance is usually not as much as you want. Last year, though, when Ms. Magnotta had one of her friends here talking about distracted driving, all of the high school students, or almost all of them, were there, and I feel like that's a much more serious way of communicating this to the students. If you have a vibrant speaker who can talk about it and, show all those gory pictures and so forth, I think, hopefully you can scare them.
Also, too, last evening in our open house, we had the Center for Humanistic Change putting the mock teen bedrooms as well. And a parent had come up to me, it was a parent of a fifth grade student, who said that this was great, but she didn't understand the value of having that here at the middle school. And she said she didn't realize that students at that age, and I said students at that age are very impressionable. So it's very important that we expose parents to this, even if they may think that their child being 10 or 11 years old is susceptible to falling into doing something like that. So we are reaching out to Caring Foundation, Center for Humanistic Change, to be able to provide more of these opportunities for parents. We'll be looking to do that throughout the school year.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, old business. Citizens' comments. Okay, the next meeting is September 24th at 7 and October 8th at 7. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And second?
Second.
Yes, actually, okay, thanks. Okay, meeting adjourned. Thanks, everyone.